about what if China attacked Taiwan? Okay, we know they have rising tensions over here. China wants Taiwan, and well, the U.S. is supporting Taiwan, so you know, tensions. So today we're going to be taking a look at what if that actually happened. What if China decided to attack Taiwan? Okay, so first, China sends its navy, and basically, before the navy, the aircraft comes. So they drop bombs all over Taiwan, and but since there's U.S. bases over there, um, they try not to target the U.S. bases since, um, yeah, we know that won't end well for China. Um, and so they start taking some land since the naval landing's already been done. Also, I forgot Hong Kong. Okay, there we go. Anyways, this happens, and as a chain reaction, USA over here. No, wrong color. And then USA over here joins. So basically, it's America and Taiwan versus China. We're gonna be making this as realistic as possible, but this is gonna be sped up, of course. We're not gonna take a million years just discussing this. So China sends its full navy force out here, and they start invading. They take all this land. But since Taiwan is also not that bad at military, since they have US support and everything, they push back. But that pushing back stopped pretty soon, and well, what happens first is that this small area, the battles appear here first. So okay, so they push back, and then China tries to cut it off. And after a long skirmish, this happens. Basically, they just want to starve this area to death, and they just strengthen this area and don't really go in there. They're just trying to starve them out, because what are they gonna do about it? They try to fight back, but they simply don't have enough resources, and so this area falls in completely under China control. While all this is happening, US has been preparing its military to send. And yeah, basically the US military is starting to arrive in the Philippines. Yes, the Philippines and Japan. None of them joined the war directly, but they are sending military support, including NATO. NATO is the biggest ally here after the US, since the US directly getting involved. So now basically what starts happening is that US Navy from both sides start coming. So they have a few naval skirmishes over here and over here. But you know, this is like the dragons thingy. But we're gonna be ignoring that right now. It's somewhere over here, I think. The dragons triangle or something. I was reading about it when I was researching. Anyways, there are some naval skirmishes between the US over here and over here. But in the end, that's not the point, because the US Navy does manage to reach here after a while and take back this area. And then they meet up with the Taiwanese army. And over here, US is also pushing back with the Taiwan, the Russian military over here. So, Chinese military. Wait, did I say Russian? Yeah, I'm just really, really confused. Don't get angry at me. Anyways, the Chinese military is now arriving in great capacities, and they start pushing back since the US is not here in great heaps yet. They push back pretty far, they take all this land, but they are not able to push too much further here. Then they decide to use the old tactic. Basically, there's a very important port right here, I think, or maybe it's somewhere over here. So they, instead of using that port for all trading, they start using it as a military thingy. And then they start spiking like this, trying to cut Taiwan in half. But um, Taiwanese try to push it back, but there's two sides they have to defend. And basically, they have like an agreement with USA saying, you defend this area for us while we're gonna focus over here. So basically, the US starts arriving too, and they take a lot of land from the. But it isn't really going that well for the Taiwan army, and they do get split in half. While USA is also having some difficulties because they are so far away right now. They're literally all the way over here, and yeah, their navy isn't still arriving in large numbers. And so basically, China starts focusing on militarizing this border and taking all this area. So they get pushed back over here by the Taiwan and the US forces combined, which separates this from the main army. And since they're not getting enough support, they get pushed back drastically. Now this is very sped up, so it's not gonna be steamrolling just like this. But we don't have that much time. They are taking somewhat of a last stance over here. We're gonna leave that right now just for detail. But the side effects to that are that the Chinese army has started going up this way. So the US and the Taiwan army focus back down here, and now the US army is arriving in great heaps. And they push back the Chinese army, but not as much because how much army can you possibly put in that much carriers? But they do manage to thin out this area right here, and that basically makes it hard to supply this area. But that turns out that was just a distraction because the main battles is going over here. The Chinese are just steamrolling all over this place because the Taiwanese army is over here and over here defending their borders. So this place is just taken pretty quickly. And then this is basically what's left of Taiwan after that. And here's the twist. US is now calling on its allies to come and help. Everybody's a little hesitant at first because this isn't really their battle or anything. But then countries like Vietnam, Philippines, and South Korea know that if China successfully takes Taiwan, not only will it like strain constant connection between the USA and them, it'll also mean that China will think of itself as like godly god or something, and they'll also try to do the same to them. So basically, what happens is South Korea joins, and then Japan joins. Wait. And then Japan joins. Okay, not supposed to go like that. I don't know why that's happening. It's supposed to not be like that. Wait, wait just 1 second. And there we go. I did a little bit of work till I realized this recording was stopped. I'm sorry for that. Basically, what happened: South Korea, Japan, and Vietnam joined the war. Don't ask me why; it's pretty clear. North Korea also joins the war because of South Korea. So the South Korean and the North Korean are just gonna be battling over here. They're not really gonna go down there much since they have their own problems. So the North Koreans start invading because they were just waiting for this day to come. But then they get held off by the South Korean army and the US army that's already there, if it already hasn't been called for it here. Japan helps South Korea a little bit, and basically they just focus on Taiwan, and they send in support, taking out this area and straining this area even more, and finally obliterating the Chinese army. But they are still connected to the mainland, so. And basically, a lot of battles occur. And this is what the stance looks like. It's kind of a stalemate now since both of the sides are going strong. But what they don't notice is Vietnam has been creeping over to China's doorstep and basically invading them while they were focusing on Taiwan. So they've been sending all their military over here, and then they have to go all the way from here to here. And while in doing so, they lose a lot of land over here. US takes these ports with Japan and kind of South Korea, but not really. And the Chinese start arriving over here, and they push back Vietnam, even invading them a little bit. They did not want to do this because we know what happened last time someone tried invading Vietnam. Yeah, it's basically a stalemate now, with this area going up like this. They're basically at their borders again, just like a little bit ups and down. But this is the current area. Now, one thing that does happen now is the wait, does it? And now China does something that shakes the entire world. They start using ballistic missiles. All right. Yeah, this happens because nuclear. Okay, you know what I mean. And they completely obliterate the army over here. Everybody gets angry at them. We have a few new players joining in, and basically what happens is Pakistan joins because India joined and they want to support China. This is turning into a big battle now, and to stop things from escalating, US UN meeting gatherings start to happen, and basically peace treaties are underway. But we still have a war going on. It hasn't stopped. So, since Pakistan declared war on them, India starts invading, and since their capital is like right there or something, in India tries to focus on this area the most. And basically, this place, yeah, nobody wants to be here. Just if you're there, you're as good as dead. Like there's basically there's the Himalayas here, so basically Bhutan, Nepal, and Bangladesh send their support to India, hoping India will do something about it. So yeah, basically this is our position right now. India is invading both China and Pakistan. Why am I forgetting names? This is basically the Himalayan border, so no, not much invading over here. But we do see some invading over here as the Himalayan range is not as deep as it is over there. So China, now fighting wars in so many fronts, is not happy. And Philippines and the USA are sending heaps of support to Taiwan, and there's a lot of rebellions underway. So basically Taiwan gets taken back almost. And yeah, Japan sends their support as well. So basically they're cornered and they surrender. No, not like that. There we go. And so the Chinese are basically losing completely now. And North Korea is not really helping, which is their only ally over here. And Pakistan gave up. Well, not gave up, but what other choices did they have? Their capital got taken, and basically the Indus River down here. Well, about that, India started a campaign up the river. So yeah, there goes their victory plan to take Kashmir and help China. So they resign. No, that isn't supposed to happen yet. What? Okay, no. Okay, let's take a look at the peace treaties, which I'm gonna draw really quickly. But yeah, basically it's a stalemate. China's losing, their allies are losing, since China's fighting wars in so many fronts, and they just don't want to go in economic ruin. Yeah, what started as a victory plan in Taiwan turned into a nightmare for them. And yeah, and boom. So I just quickly drew the border since yeah, I'm not gonna waste 2 hours just drawing the borders because that's the thing that takes the most time out in these videos. Um, so basically, I just drew the borders with a bolder line so you can see the old borders and then the new borders. So this is the new line for this this area behind this line over here is all India's, and this is also India's. So all this land goes to India, since, well, India took a lot of Pakistan's land and a little bit of China's land. That's the land that went to India. Since Vietnam invaded, this is the land that went to Vietnam, and these are the old borders. Now, this big area, this big chunk, all goes to Taiwan, since, yeah, Taiwan did have to tolerate all of that. Now, realistically, I think the borders, some would be a little bit less, and some would be a little bit more. Like, actually, this border doesn't look very realistic. I'm gonna draw a quick version. Let's say this. Okay, no, that's not what I meant. This realistically should be it, but I don't think China would ever agree to that. So this is all they're getting, which is pretty less. Japan got all this land, and Philippines got a little bit of land since they joined so late. But the happiest news is that South Korea and North Korea are united in the Korean continent thingy. I just drew this with white so you can see how the borders were before and now how they're after. So basically this is kind of the thing for China. They're split apart. It's what happens when you bully people. At least try to bully people. So this is China, and yeah, you can like check it out. just gonna color them in to give you a perspective. And basically this is what it looks like right now. Vietnam gained this land, India gained this land, Taiwan this, Philippines this, and yes, I didn't fully color it, that takes a lot of time. The Korean Peninsula is reunited and Japan gained this land. That's basically it. I didn't color the people who didn't actually gain any land because they didn't do anything. Also, Hong Kong is a kind of an independent country now, so hooray, I guess it should be colored. There we go. Yeah, China's in ruins. Beijing is like right there, so they decide to move their capital all the way in the middle, like right over here, since they also have a important state over here. I forgot its name, but they don't want it to be so close. Like it was already close enough, but yeah. So they move it somewhere over here in the middle, so people don't easily get access to it. And what's Mongolia gonna do? Form the Mongol Empire again? Okay, yeah, that was ruined. Yeah, that's it. And if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing.